Today, we will talk about inclusive science communication and gender. Now, part of the reason there are fewer women in STEM in the media is that women internalize that they do not have enough expertise and therefore should not make public appearances. In my career as a journalist and as an academic, I witnessed the same phenomenon. Many women refrain from communicating science in high visibility environments, such as television or radio, leaving them to men who are often less qualified. So beyond the already low number of women in STEM, it is harder to recruit women to get interviewed. But what happens when we do communicate science publicly? In our paper, we studied what kind of comments men and women in STEM get on scientific Facebook posts when their picture does not show and the only indication of their gender is their first name. The study of public discourse on social networks is critical because it is a crucial source of information on scientific topics for many people, and even more so for young people. We need to know what are the messages that young girls are exposed to when choosing higher education and thinking about their future careers. In recent years, there has been an increase in the involvement of women in leading positions in science, but still, some of the public perceives women as less suitable than men to engage in science. Our research demonstrates how this perception is actually reflected in public discourse on social networks. Does that mean that we, as women researchers, should not speak with the public? Hell no. But it does mean that we should be prepared for what we might find there.
Our research focused on a very popular science Facebook page in Israel, and from the beginning we collaborated with them, so they were aware of our study and also advised us. And what we really wanted to find out is whether there are differences in commenting patterns to female scientists or male scientists on their Facebook page. And so we conducted the study in several stages. The first study consisted of sampling and extracting posts that were written by a single author who was a permanent volunteer writer for the Facebook page. And we also made sure that they had a gender identifiable name and not a unisex name. And we really strived to maintain some overall balance between the genders in all of the posts. But this was particularly difficult for exact sciences posts, for example, because there are very few female writers. Overall, we had 165 posts that met all of these criteria. The second stage, we extracted all the comments to these posts, but removed comments that contained only emojis, name tags, and or links to external sources. This process left us with a little over 10,000 comments to analyze. And once we had this complete repository, we coded the posts and the comments. And the purpose of coding the posts and not only the comments was to ensure that the sample was varied in terms of post characteristics and to contribute to a more nuanced understanding of the differences in reader comments. Posts were coded for subject, gender, the level of scientific language, and their overall appeal. And comments were coded in two codes. The first code was the relevance of the comment to the post, and then we coded for sentiment or emotion towards the post. So the relevance code had three categories: relevant, irrelevant, or marginally relevant. And the sentiment code contained 5 categories: positive, hostile, neutral, advice-giving, and hitchhiking. And if I can, I want to give you an example of coding from the data that we analyzed. The example is from a post about hormones in milk, which is titled, "Hormones in Milk, Are They Really That Bad for You?" The post was about what hormones can be found in milk, what their function is, and whether they are harmful or not. The associated picture was of Arnold Schwarzenegger drinking beer with his famous quote, "Milk is for babies. When you grow up, you need to drink beer." We gave this post the appeal index of 4 out of 5, which means it's very attractive. It deals with the topic of hormones, but the link is through a topic that relates to our daily life, which is food. And the image is also inviting along with the title. But the language used in this post was 3 out of 5. Although the text is attractive, it contains quite a few scientific terms, such as amino acids or the names of hormones without any explanations. So this is the process of coding the posts. An example comment to this post was most redundant text I've ever read without any added value. In terms of relevance, this comment is directly relevant to the post because it deals with the content of the post. But in terms of sentiment, this was a hostile sentiment comment. So if I quickly summarize our main findings here, female scientists did receive fewer relevant and neutral comments, and they received more positive, hostile, and advice-giving comments. At first, you may think that they got more positive comments, so that's a good thing. But when you look at how positive comments work, it's like, great job, you're doing really well. It's not the type of comments that are actually relevant to what the scientist wrote. These are the neutral comments.